Welcome to the Collector's Archive, Season 5, Episode 1.
Hey Joe, how are we doing?
I'm alright. How are you doing, Ed?
I'm splendid, thank you very much for asking, and thank you for agreeing to come on the Collector's Archive. I do appreciate it. So,
Yeah, no worries.
you got your questions? Are you ready to get straight into it?
Yep.
Fantastic. Right, well, we'll start off. Would you like to just let everyone know where they can find you, on the socials and things like that?
Yeah, just over on YouTube and Instagram, it's the Spectrum Flipper. I just mainly talk about my toy collection, my eBay side hustle, stuff like that.
I mean, I've got to ask, because obviously there is a word in there that sort of made me think, oh, I wonder if it's that. So how did you get the name Spectrum Flipper? Where did that come from?
I'm autistic, so I sort of played the joke where there's a lot of people. When I first got diagnosed, I went, "Oh, just autistic. Everyone's a bit on the spectrum." So
right.
I sort of made the joke of the Spectrum Flipper because I do the eBay stuff. I thought,
right.
Oh, it's different. So the Spectrum Flipper.
Yeah.
Sort of made a joke.
Yeah. No. It's. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, I mean, obviously my first thing went to ZX Spectrum, but that's just me, But no, it's. Hey, listen. I mean, it's a good way to flip things around, if you will. So yeah, no, it's. I mean, I like it. It's a good name, is that Spectrum Flipper? But like I say, yeah, I've just thought, I wonder if he's into ZX Spectrums, but you're not. So damn, that's it then. So I'm going to say goodbye now, Joe. That's it. You've blown it. No, we'll crack on. So, do you want to tell us then a bit about? Do you have a particular main collecting focus, or is it just? Do you just pick up whatever you like?
At the moment, it's picking up whatever I like. But when I first started, it was Small Soldiers and Pacific Rim.
Right.
And then it went down to Starship Troopers, and now it's any big monster that I think is cool. I just pick it up. Right.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't realise they did a toy line for Starship Troopers.
It's by Galoob.
Right.
Before they started doing before, is it Hasbro that acquired them? Or
right.
One of them. It was Micro Machines. They did a big arachnid bug, stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. And they did a series of figures as well.
Yeah, they're there-ish.
Right. Oh, I might have to look them up then afterwards. I mean, I do love the film. I mean, the film's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Very underrated.
I've not dipped my toe with the sequels because I'm just kind of no. So the first one's enough for me. I thought, when I first saw that, I thought, yeah, I like that. That's a good film. Oh, good stuff. So, why do you collect then, Joe? Is there a particular reason why you collect?
I guess collecting just feels like home. If that makes sense.
Right.
When I go to toy fairs and I see something that I had as a kid, I get a nostalgia burst and it makes me happy and safe. If that makes sense.
No. What you're saying.
That's why I do it.
Right. Yeah, I've come across a lot of that. There seems to be a lot of nostalgia tied up in it with people.
Yeah,
these, ties to childhood and things like that. The memories and stuff. Because I mean, hopefully the majority of us did have a happy childhood growing up, and and a lot of what contributed to that were the toys that we were playing with. So it makes sense. So I mean, obviously that's the reason why then. But I mean, is there a motivation behind it that keeps you going with it? And do you have any particular collecting goals?
The motivation behind it was my dad before he passed away. He saw that he made me happy because unfortunately he died of cancer, and I was depressed and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it sort of helped me to escape from that mindset of being depressed and stuff.
Right.
And before he passed, he said, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Collecting makes you happy. The YouTube makes you happy. Just do that, and when I'm gone, it'll be the thing that makes you, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't really explain it. Your mindset will be good. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No. I know what you mean. Yeah. It offers you that focus, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's it's a positive focus rather than just being internal with things and that. So no, completely get it. It's there are. I would say that that's probably a lot of motivation for people out there that I've spoken to as well. Usually something that's that's not pushed them, but it's kind of like it's guided them towards that as a way with coping with various things that are going on. I mean, real world's shit enough as it is, so
it's awful at the moment.
Yeah, so it's like having something that's a positive, can only be good, So no, that's I get that. So, like I said, so the second part of that then is, do you have any particular goals at the moment then with your collecting?
I definitely want to finish the Pacific Rim NECA line.
Right.
I've almost finished it. I think I've got like 2 more figures left. But they're like really high Grail piece items. So they're quite rare and a bit expensive. So that's why I haven't finished that. Yeah. And that's it for like the collection. But as a whole goal, maybe in the future, if I outgrow it, maybe open a shop, because obviously I've got the eBay side hustle as well. So it sort of like ties into it. Right.
No, that'd be pretty cool. Would that? I mean, obviously, it's cool to sort of like to think that one point you will get your collection tapped out and get what you want and that lot. But to move from that, like you say, this eBay side hustle onto having a, would it be like a bricks and mortar, or would you do it just like as an online shop kind of thing?
Well, technically at the moment I'm already doing the online shop with the eBay.
Right, okay.
It's still got all my branding and stuff like that. Yeah. So it'll be like what you said, like a
bricks and mortar and that.
Yeah.
I think it's a hobby that can always do with more more collectors shops. It's because it's like it gives collectors more choice as well, and it gets more out there, and they've got other avenues to pick stuff up from and that. So it's all good. So I mean, I know you briefly touched on it a moment ago when you told us about your dad and that, but I mean, is that the thing that got you into collecting, or when collecting became a thing for you?
Sort of. I was always like collecting things here and there, like with going to the car boots, with the eBay side hustle. I was always picking up toys to obviously flip, because I'm a dirty reseller technically. So I ended up like picking things up. Then I would like put them on my desk, stuff like that. And then I saw that they were cool, and it grew on from there. It's actually Transformers that started it all.
Right. Well, we're going to ask you that. Is there was there a particular item that did it? That kind of like got you to think, right, okay, this is something I want to pursue.
Yeah. I got a Studio Series long haul. The one that goes on Devastator.
Yes. Yeah.
I got him for £1 on a car boot. And that made it so I can like focus on getting the Devastator and then building that up.
Yeah.
So I ended up building the Devastator, and then a couple of years later, like a month from now, Gareth's got it now.
Right. So wait, what year did you start then?
I would say like fully collecting about 2 years ago, something like that.
Right.
Around there. But I guess when I started doing the YouTube channel, you could like sort of see me like put stuff on a cabinet, I guess. Yeah. That's when I just started picking up things now and then.
So you've been at it for probably about 2 years then, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an impressive collection you've got behind you for like 2 years.
Yeah, it's mainly because everything that I sell on eBay now just goes to the collection.
Right. Yeah, so you just like churn it and turn it round and that. Yeah. No, I get that as well. I'm the same. My collection is fueled by bits that I decide to sell on or move on. It all just gets thrown back in the pot on that. So, right. So where are we now? Yeah. So, that's it. Yeah. Is there anything new in your collection that that's just arrived that you like?
The Troll Warriors.
All right.
Saw that in the group chat. I saw these at Doncaster when I was last there.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, the colours like draw me into them, and started to research. Well, it's not really focused there, is it?
Yeah, no, that's good. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I like the colours. They've all got like unique accessories, and they're very cheap. So I started collecting.
So are they like a legitimate toy line, or there's some like,
Yeah, yeah.
like a third party kind of thing that's
Yeah, it's a legit toy line. It's from Tyco.
right?
Loads of people did it. Mattel and someone else, and
Yeah.
picked up 2 at the moment, 4 or 5 each on Vinted.
Right. And are they sort of like are they kind of a base off the like the little troll figures that
Yeah,
you that?
They're
Right.
based on them. They made like their own lore to it.
Yeah.
Like one side's evil, one side's not.
Right.
Stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Ah,
And
cool.
they've got
Cool. No,
really
that
accessories.
that purpley one that you showed first, that looks pretty cool. I like that
Oh,
one.
the red one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, red. Yeah, red and purple. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not something I collect, but I can appreciate that it looks pretty cool. Does that?
Yeah, and then you can like change the hairstyles. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like a Barbie doll.
Bad hair day. So, is there anything then? I know you briefly mentioned about the Pacific Rim stuff, but I mean, is there anything else that's on your radar at the moment that you're looking to pick up?
Toxic Crusaders.
Right.
I'm loving that line at the moment.
Yeah.
I got into it because of Toxic Avenger.
Right.
Then watched that, then found out there was a 90s show. And then this was actually going to be one of the questions what I'm vibing on. So,
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully. That's the Radiation Ranger from it.
Right. Yeah.
It's complete. You have like glow in the dark pieces, then with an LED light, like a blue light, they like sort of glow, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I just love the colours and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very is it 90s? Isn't it? So like it's a very 90s looking kind of thing.
Yeah, they all basically look the same, like very bright, like neonish colours.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And I mean, I don't know if you do them or if it's just stuff that you pick up, as a game. But like, do you go in for like the pre-order thing? Have you got all that you've ordered that you're waiting to come in?
No, I don't really pick up newer stuff nowadays.
No,
unless it's like a reissue.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
You just
that fancy really.
Yeah.
Not
fair
ever
enough.
since Black Series. I used to collect Black Series, and then
Yeah.
I think after the Ahsoka show, I was like, yeah, I can't anymore.
No.
Star Wars is rubbish. I can't.
Yeah. No, I get. Yeah. No, we won't go into that, but yeah, I get where you mean on that one. And I mean, rounding this one out, then is there anything that you'd like to be seen made that you could have that hasn't been done?
I would like a small soldiers kit. Not a kit. Small soldiers. I think he's called Butch. He's like the African American character.
Right.
They didn't ever make him and Link for some reason, like out of the Commando Elite. For some reason they made every single one except from those two, which made no sense.
Right. Which one's Link?
He's like the tech guy with like a little
right. Yes.
speaker thing on his head. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I mean, it's years since I saw the film. Again, it's another film I do like it, but it is years since I've seen it. So I don't. It's. Is it Gorgonites or something? Are they called Gorgonites?
Yeah, Gorgonites.
That's it. Yeah. But no, all right, yeah, no, that'd be two good things. I mean, especially from the point of view that it'd get your collection rounded out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Get that finished off and that. So, right, okay. So, I mean, yeah, you've already answered that the next question, which is the piece that you're vibing on at the moment. But I mean, would there be anything else? Is there anything else that you're picking up and having a mess about with while you're sat at your desk?
Mad Balls at the moment, like everyone else.
It's what? Sorry.
Mad Balls, like everyone else.
Mad Balls.
Yeah.
Right.
Not like the vintage ones. I like the Kid Robot, like horror stuff that they've done.
Right.
I don't. You can sort of see it up there, like all of them.
Oh yeah, I can see them. Yeah, just hanging down there. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them more than.
Right. So are they a thing at minute then, Mad Balls?
Yeah, everyone's after them.
Right.
At toy fairs, they sell out so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've just shot up, like, even if you look on eBay, the prices are like doubled or even tripled.
Right. And so, like, is it the vintage stuff or is it like more recent stuff? I mean, are they still making them?
It's everything. They've just started making them again, but I think they're all US exclusive at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've just started remaking them. Everyone wants them, Super hard to get.
Yeah, who makes them then? Who's knocking them out?
I can't remember who's making the new ones, but the old ones are like, is it Amtoy?
Right.
And then those ones are Kid Robot.
Yeah. Gosh, it's weird how sort of like some things just sort of like just suddenly seem to explode. You know, like they're forgotten about, and then they just seem to come, and then everyone just wants them.
Well, it's YouTube videos, isn't it, that do it? It's,
right.
People finding out what they are on YouTube through obviously content creators, and then they just explode.
Yeah. No, it does amaze me. I mean, it's like the I want to make sure I get this right now. If not, I'll put a little bit of text up at the bottom of the screen when I get it wrong. Is it Loyal Subjects that are doing the mask stuff?
I'm not too sure.
I think it's Loyal Subjects that are doing the they're not particularly reissues or the kind of reissues remakes, but they're doing mask stuff again. Yeah. I never had mask as a kid. It wasn't my thing. I appreciated it. I had family, cousins that had it, and it were okay, but it always seemed a bit too flimsy and like it'd break really easy. So it was never a thing for me. But the more and more images I've been seeing of it that's been released and things like that, I'm thinking, I might pick up Rhino, which is like the big, like I think it's either a Peterbilt or a Kenworth long nose truck.
I know what you mean,
just so it can sit there on the shelf kind of thing, But yeah, that seems to be causing a bit of a, people seem to be, anticipating those coming out. I mean, I don't know how it's affected the prices of the original stuff. I couldn't be honest, but
yeah, I have no idea.
But so yeah, no, I get it. But yeah, Mad Balls, I know it's something I know very little about. But there's always time to educate myself.
Well, to be fair, I knew nothing about them until 4 or 5 months ago.
Right.
So yeah,
no, good. So you're stuck on a desert island, Joe. What toy are you gonna have with you?
I've got it here actually.
Have you?
Got the 12-inch Archer.
Excellent.
Who I'd bring because in my mind I feel like I'm stuck on a desert island.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go insane, and I would like a toy that I think would talk to me.
Right. Yeah.
It also has like different action features.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Right. And does that have a voice chip in it, or is it just like?
Yeah. I don't know if you heard it.
No, I can't. No. But
it's got like some voice lines.
Right. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That's good stuff. I wonder, did they ever? When the film first came out and stuff, did they ever do like any interactive toys for it then?
I don't think so. Which is weird because you would have think, because obviously to actually get him to move in the movie, he goes, "Halt, who goes there?" But for some reason, they haven't. No,
I mean, if it's something like that ever comes back again, if interest, generates up for it, I mean, I think toy technology is now at a point where they could do a really good interactive version of it,
Yeah, definitely. Well, they could have done it then, because the Gorzak. Tell that to move and then that moves. So
right.
So they could easily have done it, but I guess it's just a missed opportunity.
What year did it come out?
I think it's 1997, 96.
Nice. Right.
Between there.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. They probably could. Yeah. I mean, if we had a speak and spell back in '80s, then we could have a interactive Archer. Oh, good stuff. No, it looks a good piece. So are they all that scale, or is that just like a one-off?
No, there's just two of them. So they did the Archer and the Chip Hazard 12-inch, and then the rest are all like 6-inch. But there is an Archer and Chip Hazard 6-inch as well. Yeah.
Right. Cool. So yeah, I mean, you've told us about that, that your main collecting, but I mean, I can see, there is quite a lot of different stuff on there. But I mean, do you want to tell us about some of the other stuff that you like picking up and collecting?
Just basically any big monster that I think's cool. So recently I've been getting into Inhumanoids, which is an 80s cartoon. 86, I believe, is when it was released. I don't know how they released that for kids. If you actually watch it, I don't know how they did that. I'll go away with it.
I've never watched the cartoon. I think 87. They did Inhumanoids were a backup strip in the Transformers comic, the Marvel UK one. And yeah, I mean, some of the look a bit grotesque, just some of the stuff that's in there.
It's basically 3 monsters come up from hell, and then try and destroy the Earth, basically.
Yeah.
And some of the monsters turn people into zombies and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how they got away with it.
I might have to read it, because I'll be honest with you, when I used to get the Transformers comic, I never read any of the backup strips. It was just a case I was just there for the Transformers and that was it. So I read the Transformers bit and then it was shut and it put down kind of thing. But I might give that one a go. Actually, I might take a look at those.
It's a good show. It's definitely underrated.
Because some of the toys, I'd see some of the toy adverts for them, and was one of them some kind of was it like a big monster skeleton kind of looking thing? Was it?
Yeah, that's Decompose.
Right.
That's the one that changes people into zombies.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And I might be getting stuff mixed up here, but was one of them? Did one of them come with some slime or something? Or am I getting it mixed up with the He-Man?
No, but it does look like slime, ish. He's like a big green monster.
Right.
So that's probably why you said slime.
Yeah. Yeah. So is it just that then? Is it just that you've been getting into, or is there some other stuff?
There's some other stuff here and there, but that's what I'm mainly focusing right now on. Humanoid stuff. Right.
So I mean, going back then, growing up and that, what kind of things, what toys you're playing with, and what cartoons and stuff like that you're watching?
Well, I grew up in 2000s, so I'm a 2000 baby. So all my answers are going to be completely different to all the other guests. But I also had a older brother, so I ended up watching what he was watching, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I watched Ben 10, Ace Lightning. I've got it here actually. What I've put, Beetleborgs, Mass Rider, stuff like that. 90s going into 2000s.
Right. Things like Beetleborgs and Mass Rider. I've not seen those cartoons, although I do remember seeing. Around second-hand market stores and things like that. I think the Beetleborgs figures. Were they like a vacuumized, like a shiny metallic?
Yeah, it's basically Power Ranger-esque type show. That's how it was. Yeah.
Right. So any comics? I read any comics, I just suppose in the 2000s. I mean, were board games still a thing back in the 2000s as well?
Not really. Only Monopoly. No. That's it. Comics, I didn't read that much, to be fair.
No.
Obviously, me being autistic, I didn't learn to read until a very late age.
Right, okay.
But I've recently started getting into it. I was about to say I watched then. I read the Hellboy, is it Omnibus set?
Right.
It's like
which one's that?
It's like the first 3 novels, I think, with the Crooked Man or something. I can't remember. But I read that, and then recently I've picked up some stuff from Nima Studios, the Cosmic Cowboys.
Right.
And that's about it.
When you're growing up then, I mean, do you have any, is any standout memories about, particular toys that you got for birthdays or Christmases?
Yeah, I had the Wowie robot, or Robo Sapien, and the Robo Raptor. They were basically these big white robots that you can control with remote control. I got them for Christmas and I loved them.
Right.
I also had the big track as well, the reissue one for a bit.
I've got the reissue. I mean, I didn't have a big track as a kid. A cousin of mine had it. So when they did I think it was Zeta. I think a company called Zeta. I think that did it.
I think so.
When they did that one, I picked that one up. And at first glance, it's like it's a big track, but there are some slight differences on it to the original one. I would like an original at some point, but it's not a must-have at the moment. It's one of those kind of things that if I see it, in the right condition at the right price, I'll pick it up and that. But the Robo Sapien and the Raptor, I remember seeing those when they came out.
Yeah.
And, they looked, I mean, I think it's the kind of thing that had I been a kid when they came out, I'd have been all over them.
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose the equivalent from back in my day of that would have been the Omnibot and Omnibot 2000.
Yeah.
Which again is another one. Omnibot 2000. I'd love one of those.
Yeah.
Really, even now, But I think it'd have to be boxed.
Yeah.
It'd have to be original. It'd have to be boxed. It'd have to be minting condition. And it's just, I wouldn't be prepared to pay the price that it would demand, for that. So, do you still have those then, the Robo Sapien and that? Have they gone?
I don't, but I do plan on getting them because they're quite cheap right now. To be fair, they're all about 20-30 quid each. So
right,
I do plan on getting them one day. Yeah, get them back in there and sit them on the shelf with your the big robots and stuff. That good stuff. So I don't know if this might not be a relevant question for you, but we'll get it go anyway. Did you was there a point like towards the back end of childhood where you did stop picking up toys? And do you, can you remember one of the last ones you had, or like other people I've spoken to, did it just like flow through onto other things? So there weren't a definitive break to it. I think after a while I just stopped because gaming became so popular. Because obviously I grew up with like PS2, Xbox 360s, stuff like that. Yeah. So once gaming started taking off, that's when I said go away toys. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened.
What? I know you mentioned PS2 and 360 and that. What were your favourite games on those?
I love Jak and Daxter on the PS2.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
Jak and Daxter on the PS2.
Jak and Daxter.
Daxter.
What's that? I've never heard of that one.
It's similar to Ratchet and Clank, really. If you've ever played.
Oh, and again, no. That's...
so it's like a sci-fi. You've got like a companion pet, or a pet that talks to you and stuff like that. Go around beating baddies up and stuff like that. There's missions. Yeah, you can fly stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
Right. So is it like a side-scrolling beat 'em up kind of thing, or?
No, not side-scroll. Like 3D.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, the PS2 was mainly most of the stuff with like 3D and stuff like
that. Yeah. Yeah. I sound like oh god. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm old. I get it. I shouldn't have said side scroller. I'm still thinking of Mario Kart.
To be fair, PS1 was mainly side scroller. So
yeah. I think Now, really, if I thought I should cut all that bit out so I'm not embarrassed, but I don't care anymore. It's like, I'm happy to let people laugh at me. It's fine. Right, okay, yeah. No, I've not heard of that one. I mean, I did have a PS2, but I was still playing stuff like, like Toka Touring Cars, and there was some Tomb Raider in there, and Soul Blade. But another good one. I mean, I know those were all games that came out on the PS1. I know that, but I carried them through because I picked PS2 quite late. When I got back into gaming, as it were, it was the game. Well, sorry, no, I had a PlayStation when that came out. I got one that when it first came out. I got a PlayStation. I did the Tomb Raider and stuff like that. But then I dropped out of it for a while. I didn't, play on stuff. Because, I mean, before that, I had like an Atari ST. I moved from the Spectrums to an Atari ST, and then there was the PlayStation 1. Well, it was just PlayStation back then, and then there was a break. But what got me back into it then was the GameCube. Yeah. And it was the Rogue Squadron games on the GameCube. I was just like, that was what tweaked the interest. But what really got me massively back into it was Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah, brilliant game.
And that was just like, wow, that just blew my mind. And that every spare moment I had, I was just on Resident Evil 4. I mean, I still have.
Have you not played the remake?
My son is always on at me about this because I have it and it's still in the cellophane. I've still not opened it because it feels like I'm going to be cheating on the original.
No,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I mean, I've got the. I don't know what year they did it, but I know the redid it, they HDified it, didn't they, and tarted it up and released it on the PlayStation, and then they ported it to the Xbox. So I've got it on the Xbox One, you know, like the nice shiny spangly version, and I'll play that occasionally. But yeah, I haven't bust the remake open yet.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Like, it's when they say remake, it actually is like a full-on remake. They've done everything a lot different, so it's definitely worth it.
I mean, I've got and I've played the remakes of the others. You know, like Res 2 and Res 3?
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah, I've got those and I've played those and I enjoyed them. Yeah. It's just like I said, I haven't got round to to playing it. You know, but Race 4, that was the one that got me back into it, and then it took off from there. Then I got the 360, but again, that was towards the back end. I think it was the Elite. I think was that the last one that they made. I think the Elite 360 Elite.
I think it was the Slim. So I think yours was like the middle one, maybe.
Right. It was like the tall, roundy shape one with the hard drive clipped in at the top.
Yeah, because the white one always had issues. Like they call it a red ring of death.
Right.
But it would always break and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this were like a black with like a silver draw and stuff. Yeah. I mean, again, I've still got that, and it still works. It's still fine. And it was the why did I get that one now? Oh, it was Forza Motorsport 3, I think it was.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that were loved that game. Loved that game. And then I ended up getting.
I love the Motorsport games as well.
Yeah. And then the other one I loved on that one was Tron. Is it Tron Evolution? Is it Tron Evolution? Tron Legacy?
I think it would be Legacy on it because they would have made it with the movie, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Tron Legacy. Tell you, my mind this morning is absolutely puzzled. It really is. I'm just like, you know, I think we're going to just call it a day and we'll do this again sometime, George. Brain's gone. Oh, well, no worries. Let's get it back onto top subject anyway. So, I know you briefly hinted to it earlier, but can you ever see yourself getting to a point where you will stop, or do you think you'll just carry on in some way, shape, or form?
I wouldn't say stop. I would say slow down.
Right.
Because obviously, if I want to eventually open my own shop, I feel like a lot from the collection would have to go in there as like a start.
Yeah.
So I think I would like choose what I'd want to keep forever, I guess.
Right.
And whatever I'll probably sell. So I guess slow down is what I would say.
Right. I suppose the benefit to that as well is that if you do go that route, you know, like you say, you get this bricks and mortar shop and that, even the stuff that you let go, more than likely will just come back anyway. Yeah. So you'll have a chance to get again. You'll have a chance to get it back again at some point. You know. Slowing down. Yeah, I could see that. I'd like to stop. But you know, they keep bringing out nice and shiny stuff, and it's like, damn, stop it. You know, leave me alone, kind of thing. So, doing what you do then? What would you say that you like and dislike the most about it?
I don't like people that gatekeep in groups. If that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Like, if you want to make a group, why don't you just let people who enjoy the medium join it instead of like putting like a paywall and stuff like that on it?
Right.
So I know that some groups do that. It's just a bit weird to me when people do that.
So I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit fuzzy on the whole gatekeeping thing and what it actually really means. I mean, in my mind, it means that, like what some people have experienced with some of the Star Wars collecting groups, you know, where they say, right, okay, you're not allowed to have repro weapons and you can't bright white them and you can't, you know, do this and that and all this. I mean, is it that kind of thing, or does it go beyond that?
It's that sort of thing, and also people like withholding information that should be out there already.
Right. Okay.
So people like, I know there's some. So obviously, with the eBay side, I know there's certain groups that will say you can join this group for this certain amount, and then you can learn this about this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like people that do that. I think it's a bit weird.
Right, so there's actually people out there charging people to be members of a group.
Yeah, there's a big thing about it in like the eBay side. A lot of people don't like it.
No, I mean, no, I don't think I agree with that. I mean, it's. I mean, and are these like Facebook groups and things like that, or are they just?
It's like Instagram DMs, like Facebook groups, Discord groups,
Right.
the people making like their own websites and then promoting it and doing stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, I think I'm with you. I think, you know, if you go into a hobby like this, you know, of collecting stuff or this particular toy line and things like that, you know, you want to encourage more people into it. And
the information should be out there for
everyone. Yeah. If somebody wants to know some info about something, then, you know, give them it, you know, because, I mean, this will actually lead in to you know, what the question that's going to come out after this, you know, is that, you know, everybody starts at some point, you know, so if you can give them the best foot into it, you know, leg up, you know, that you can, that's going to benefit them and it's going to benefit you as well in the community as a whole, you know, kind of thing. So right, okay, so we know that you don't like that. So so what is it that you do like? You know, what are the things that you?
I like when the community helps each other.
Yeah.
So like the community that you've built with like the Cosmic Council and stuff like that, like the group chat, we're all like sharing things, helping each other, showing what we picked up, like sharing the nostalgia and I guess the memories. I like that.
Yeah. Nice. I've no idea from fortnight to fortnight what's going on. I'm just sort of like I'm behind a piece of glass and it just like break glass in case, you know, like every fortnight they just call me up and say, "Are you coming on?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, right." I'm like, "Is it Father Jack in Father Ted?" You know, just sitting in the corner, I just rant every now and again. But no, and joking aside, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's it is nice to see what people pick up and, you know, what they've learned about it and stuff like that. You know, it's I mean, out of us all, I think on that side, Andy's probably the one that you know, has the diversity of what he picks up. You know, just like, you know, some weeks I'll watch and I'll think it's so random in what you're buying, like, you know. But to his credit, you know, he researches it and he looks it up and he's always
you
know. And then it comes to me and I'm like, "Oh shit, what can I show?" And I'll just like, "Oh, here." Right. So going on to that, what we touched briefly about then, when we're saying about, you know, like collectors coming into it and that, what piece of advice would you give to someone who's just starting out at the moment? I mean, it doesn't matter what they're collecting; it could be anything. But what would you say is the most important thing for them to bear in mind?
I would say if you're not trying to spend a lot of money, just focus on collecting one line at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started, I obviously did the Small Soldiers, Pacific Rim Starship Troopers. That was not the best idea because I was then spending money on each one.
Right, yeah.
So I would say just focus on one line, and then after that line, if you've completed it or enjoyed learning about it, then decide whether you want to diverse into more lines.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a good place to start. Yeah, I think I completely agree. I mean, I learned, you know, back when it was late 90s, mid to late 90s, I got into collecting and stuff. And I learned the hard way, like what a lot of collectors do, where you just pick up everything and anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know,
any random price.
Yeah. It was, yeah. Anything that had Transformers above the door, it was just like, yeah, I'll take that. Or it'd be something like, oh, that's a nice shiny Star Wars figure. You know, and it got to a point where it was like, right, okay, I need to stop this. And there was a big call and, you know, you make the choice then to focus. So, yeah, if you can save other people that pain, you know, and save the wallets as well. You know, so, yeah. Is there anything that you'd like to ask me?
I did have a question somewhere. Let me just find it.
There we go.
Did I save it? I didn't save it. God damn it. I think it was on the line of, if there was a toy that came to life, what toy would you want it to be? Like, that came to life, that you collect?
Whoa. God, that is a belter, is that? Right. Oof. Damn. You know something? I think I might have to put an edit in here because you're going to have to give me a minute or two to think about it. No, seriously, this is a really, really good question.
Yeah, I thought because with the theme of Small Soldiers, that would probably be perfect.
Yeah.
Because obviously they come to life, so.
Yeah. No, I'm going to do a clapperboard. I'm definitely putting a pause in here because I'm going to have to think about this, all right?
We'll be right back.
Humanoids. The evil that lies within. From down in the fiery depths of the earth where nightmares begin. Inhumanoids. The evil that lies within.
Okay, now we're back.
So through the magic of editing, it's like instant, and I'm really prepared with my answer about what I'm going to do. Right, I think, having thought about it briefly, there would be two, I think.
Okay.
And I can't really choose between them. So one of them would be the Gigapower Superator, which is Grimlock. It's Gigapower's version of Grimlock, which is a really big masterpiece. Grimlock, So I mean, if that could come, if that could come alive like the Arch and Gorgonites, that would be one.
Yeah,
the other one would be, it's not a toy, but it's something that has been in my life since 1982, and I've grown up with, and it's always been there in one way, shape, or form. And I know it's not a toy, and I know there'd be some kind of weird thing how it would do it, but it would be my Spectrum. It'd be a Spectrum. Because it would be like having a kit, but obviously it wouldn't be in a car, so it would be there to, like program and talk to and, interact with that kind of thing, So yeah, I think those, I'd go for them too, yeah.
Cool.
Damn, Joe, that was an awesome question. Thank you.
Keeping it on theme with the Gorgonites.
Yeah, that one did make me think, did that one. And but yeah, cool. We're at the end. That's it, Joe. We've fired through those questions, which isn't a bad thing because it gives me an easy life when it comes to editing. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, we've really rattled through those. So I'm just going to say, if you'd like to just have a quick recap and let people know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah. So thank you for having me on. I've been watching quite a few episodes before you even actually asked me, because obviously I'm part of that. I guess group. So thank you for having me on. And you can find me over on this Spectrum Flipper on YouTube and Instagram. And I would say eBay, but there's nothing on there at the moment. But yeah, I do YouTube videos on my toy collecting, my eBay side hustle, going around car boots, showing you what stuff's worth and stuff like that. And hope to see you there. And obviously, keep watching Ed, because Ed's awesome.
Cheers. And don't forget your Instagrams as well. You do Instagram as well, don't you?
Oh, it's the same, the Spectrum Flipper.
Yeah. Sounds good stuff. Right then, Joe. All I'll say is then, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a good chat, and it's nice because we've interacted through YouTubes and things like that. But this is the first time we've actually come face to face, so it's always nice to put a face to the name and the I'll say voice, but the text behind the messages and stuff like that. But so no, thank you very much. Appreciate it. You take care. All the best, and we'll catch up soon.
All right, definitely.
Take care. See you later.
Thank you for watching the Collector's Archive. To ensure you never miss an episode, please select the like, subscribe, and notification icons. The Vaults of Icon.